Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Storyteller Show. It's a beautiful Thursday, and I am here with Lynn Sherman, my sister and friend, and you are going to love everything she has to share with you. Her chapter in The Gifts of Pain is called From Losing Myself to Finding Belief. And that is what we need today. She is a cancer survivor, a life student, and author of Finding Belief: How Cancer Cured My Life. And she uses her gifts to empower readers to discover themselves when lost along life's journey by using the collective guidance of humanity's wisdom. I will share with you how to contact Lynn later on, but welcome, Lynn. I'm so happy you're here.
Good morning. Thank you. I am happy to be here.
Oh
Very
my
happy.
goodness. Yeah, it is such a gift. I mean, getting to know you and hearing your story has been so inspiring to me and so encouraging as well. And I really think that it is a special divine appointment for you and I to be on this journey together. And I'm so grateful that you're in my life, that you're in my community, that you're an author in The Gifts of Pain, not only once, but all about to be three times. And I want to say that because everyone, this woman has stories endless. It's endless, and she's such a resource. And to kind of start that journey with everybody who's watching and listening, would you be willing to share your story from the Gifts of Pain 4 and tell us about that moment that changed everything for you?
I would love to. I would love to right here. Very exciting. Yeah. Okay. So my story is called From Losing Myself to Finding Belief. Throat cancer. My mind echoed the diagnosis as I sat in the car at the doctor's office. I was only 27 years old, frozen in the crosshairs of silent desperation and my deafening heartbeat. The slow motion trigger had been pulled, and I was its latest target. I looked at my baby sleeping in the back seat, started the engine, and slowly drove away. When I got home, a desperate search began for answers to the terrifying thoughts of the future. Through books, articles, blogs, vlogs, and classes, I started to learn the effects of trauma, dysfunction, repressed emotions, and ignorance. With pen and paper, the examination of my beliefs, confrontation of fears, attention to my words, and awareness of my actions and responses became imperative. I began to recognize that the shared stories throughout human history can become our medicine. Seeking and learning from the stories and perspectives of people who have experienced or are currently walking in the same journey can change our fears to an educated faith. I began spending time with the same empowerment tools they used, pen and paper. As my mental and emotional framework shifted, any diagnosis or its potential outcomes no longer mattered. By questioning our beliefs, habits, responses, and societal programming, we discovered that our well being of humanity is given to each of us through the pain to examine and transform into more effective knowledge and practical wisdom. Utilizing the wisdom and avenues of social media opportunities and writing books of encouragement, I now use my voice and experience to help open doors of expansion.
Mm.
I invite you to take steps to examine the beliefs you hold in contrast to the truths you are living. Ask yourself to seek a larger vision and understanding for your uniquely powerful story that is still being written.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jalen. Thank you for sharing that story. Thank you for allowing us to feel our own pain. And what a gift you are, and what a gift it is that you transformed that moment. I mean, I cannot even believe facing such a challenge at such a young age when we think about being given that sentence, right? Um,
Mhm.
and and for you to gain all of this experience and all of this knowledge to lead to trauma freedom. And I know that that's one of the things that you want to teach everyone is just like you liberated yourself from so much trauma that you didn't even understand at that time, and to take all that insight to then help humanity, to help every trauma survivor. I really honor that you did that and that you share that story and all of the stories that you're sharing, not only through the gifts of pain, but through your own books and your own blog posts and everything that you share online. Would you tell us why you feel that it's important for us to share your story and how that process was like for you?
Well, stories are our medicine. That's what I could say healed me, um, from the inside to the outside. I mean, it's just layers and layers and layers, but we live on such a surface level and we share the easy stories, easy stuff. Oh,
Mm,
someone pulled out in front of me in traffic, or I need to get that promotion, or whatever, whatever. And so, but the things that are really down in there, we bury them deep. I mean, they go in there.
mhm,
And so the surface story, oh, they have cancer. Well, what is that doing? I mean, that is just, but more importantly, is there a way to self correct just to get where you can even talk about it or look it in the face and not flinch? And so writing about it, you said, no, go in there and get it. I want that moment. And it's a hard one. It's still hard.
yeah.
But if not, you're gonna live with that trauma dump right on you.
Mm,
And then we go on about our way. But if we don't go back and realize what we've collected from that, and most importantly, to take that, and then
mm,
here's the great thing about pen and paper. Those tools, I mean, they're tools. This is how they work. You put it in your hand and it comes out there, and you don't even have to know what you're saying. It just comes out. You don't have to
mm,
read it later. Just let it get out. Just let it get out. This cleans up. You don't forget, it just rearranges. It's magic.
yeah.
And when I had discovered that, I realized that what I was reading was their medicine, and what I was putting down, and someone else would read it, or I would just share it, just verbally, what I was learning.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just that little, I'm not saying that's all it takes, but that's such a huge step because if we don't understand ourselves. So to answer your question, why is it important? It's essential. That's we won't survive if we don't have each other's stories and if we don't start sharing that really treasureful, treasureful thought things, then we leave it up to a system that doesn't have time for us.
Yeah.
So
And I love that you mentioned that that's not all it takes, but that's such a crucial foundational step because I think that we at times see something as a very simplistic solution and say, nah, I am just beyond broken. I am just beyond battered. There is no hope for me, which are valid feelings to feel that
yeah.
way. But in that moment, we might think, A simple pen and paper, that's I've tried everything and nothing has worked, right? And so I can definitely attest to the power of the pen and the paper in my own life. So this is not something that you just shared, but that also research has demonstrated. And it is just such a healing balm to be able to just take everything that you have experienced and write it down and get it out of you. So I definitely think that sometimes it just feels like, well, how's that gonna work? But it does. And so I invite everyone who's watching or listening to definitely take a chance because it definitely is a powerful start to a beautiful journey. And if nothing else, it'll reveal the next steps on the journey. So, is there anything that came up while you were writing this story? I mean, I know that you've worked through different stories with me already in our work together. But in writing this first one, what do you think came up for you that you want everyone to be mindful of?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Thank you so much. Um, you go back to that initial, and you hear your heartbeat, you feel your heartbeat, the breath, everything changes, everything changes. And having to go back, you learn to breathe again. You've
Mm,
learned to breathe again. You put your heart back in your chest. And instead of feeling it out here and saying, what am I going to do? What's going to happen to my baby? What about my family? What about this, that, the other?
yeah,
You put it back in your chest and you say, I'm going to grow through this and I'm going to, whatever you can. That was a seed that was in you. And it's just through the pain. I mean, it's just the gifts of pain. And I'm not saying that's a gift that plunk, this will be a good one for you. No, our bodies, our everything knows what's going to get our attention. Um, by any other means, what would have gotten me to read and pick up pens? That wasn't my go-to source. And to do that, it didn't feel awkward. Little kids do it. And even now, when I'm just confused or whatever, I'll tear open a piece of paper and just start writing. And it just looks like someone's EKG. And in my brain, I'm going, and furthermore, and another thing. And it's just, if I'm mad at myself or if it's just, and I could just scribble, 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 and then make a little happy face or give me a heart or draw me
yeah,
a flower. And I feel better and I close it up and I stick it back in the drawer. And tomorrow's going to be the back of my grocery list.
yeah,
So, and nobody knows. I could walk through anywhere and say, look what I wrote, look what I wrote. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I know how I felt went there and it's out of me. It's processed. I mean,
Mm,
it's like your computer just with this log jam and you can't even get clarity out of it, what you want, because just all these things waiting to come out. So
absolutely.
that's what I remember every time. It's just there was so much in my head and this was the bomb drop. And when a life is spiraling and you get a bomb drop, it's like, well, that's easy. Go and you're down. You're down.
Yeah.
And that's where life does its best work on you, you know.
Absolutely. I love that you said that because, deciding to write the story is one thing, but being in the messy process is a different one. But understanding that it is worth it, that it might not look, it might look like an AKG, it might look messy, it might, be like you said on the back of a grocery list. It could be anywhere. It does That's the actual logistics are not really important, but it's the presence that we bring to the story. So I really love,
Yes.
and because of you being such an advocate to pen and paper, being, I call it an ambassador whenever I think of you. I think, oh, Jaylene, the ambassador of pen and paper. I want to ask you, in this climate, in this time, in this world, why is it important that we go back to something basic when we have artificial intelligence, uh, computers in our pockets, at the reach of our hand, and you're advocating for something basic? Why do you think these tools are magical?
Excellent question. That is such a good question. Well, upon further research, come to find out, there's a connection, just like with music, like a violin. You
Mhm.
got a hand holding that paper down, and that other one's just that rhythm coming out, or a guitar. It is just very flow for the body, for one thing. It's like music, it may not have to have words, but that rhythm, it
Mm,
readjusts. And as a society, oddly enough, the really good research about what happens when you take a pen and paper and put it in someone's hand, whether they're 5 years old or 500 years old, if they you could get that. It's a tool you could figure out. It's not tough to figure out, and you could get that flow going with the same results. Well, around 2009, the studies have stopped, and they have writing, but it's not handwriting because the keyboards and then the iPhones, and so we've gone to thumbs, which is kinda, it's messaging, not a lot of depth. It's artificial communication. It
yes.
doesn't have the depth, it doesn't have the tone, it doesn't have the emotion, it doesn't have the ring that can really bond us.
Yeah.
It drops words off with people, and so with computer, we're thinking, and those things can come out so fast.
Yeah.
We hit send and then, "Oh, shoot." When you write, you have to tell those words, "Wait a minute, calm down, one at a time. Give me time. Give me time. Give me time." And they're just mob rushing to get out of that pen on you, and then you could do your EKG and let them come out.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
for you. This is absolutely for you. Tear them up, burn them, flush them, whatever you wanna do if you
Yeah.
fear someone's gonna read them. It is such a private, but in the time of, AI, it's very microwave, it's processed, here it is, and until you make that connection and pull it out of you, you've taken the treasure out of it. There is no treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually something that I always say, that in my community, that we want to be writers, not microwave writers. And I have a notebook at all times next to me, even though I'm in front of my computer right now. I have my keyboard, but I always have post-it notes, of all colors, because I have a color code for anything that I'm writing. I have my notebook, um, and I'm a firm believer of that connection with yourself. So I really, really appreciate that you mentioned that. And I like something that you said. You called it artificial communication. And that I think is really powerful, the way that you call that. And actually, in the chat, in the comments right now, Deborah Montalvo says that she is a fan of your authenticity. so, so in with that in mind, what is the difference between that artificial communication and that authentic communication?
Your heart hears it. Your heart hears it. If your heart doesn't, that's why music, I mean, just that's why when people sing and their voices quiver and we just, oh, and I'm an emotional person anyway, but so, I mean, it's not hard for me to make that connection. And
Yeah.
I'll sit and watch people, when someone is speaking or someone is singing, and you could see just everything change and move. And it's like, this is what we're packaging.
Yeah.
It's in us. It's already packaged in us, but you don't even have to talk. You don't have to share words. You can color crayons.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like to color. Just, or go out and pull weeds, something to get my hands, mind moving. But
Yeah.
until that can get out of you, um, because there's a lot of people that are going to have aversion to that, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not about becoming a writer. It's about learning about you. It's that private mirror nobody gets to look into. And it's going on in your head all the time. And so you could take it out and look at it and go, wow, I can't believe I did that. Or
Yeah.
I've gained so much strength. Or, oh man, I could have handled that. So not my best work. So
Yeah.
we're our best teacher.
Yeah.
And until we take a look at what we're teaching, that's what we're showing everybody else.
Mm.
And sorry, everybody, but we have to process what you're trying to get out. It
Yeah.
is hard. We're all just kind of bumping in each other in a giant, you could see a lot of confusion and emotion. And, it's not a fun thing to do, the handcrafty art stuff.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we have Cynthia who's watching, and she's with her mom who's in the last moments of her life. And she's watching with us, and she's um really being present for that moment, hoping and praying that she's going to be peaceful. And she's just been going through all of these hard times. So, how can writing help Cynthia in these moments, or anyone who's grieving and going through a hard time right now?
Well, tears obviously are coming, but let that ink come too. That's another tear. That is just such a that gets it out, man. It processes the whole thing. It makes the journey bigger. It makes the game worth it. You start to understand that, wow, boundaries, rules, the whole thing changes. The whole
Yeah.
thing. It's one of those things, it has to be experienced. And
Yeah, she's saying that she's reading to her and playing her favorite music, talking to her, and also going through memories with her. And I'm thinking about what you said, and just maybe something to do is, writing about this moment, writing about what's coming up for her, and I love what you said, Jaylin, about how this can be just a private conversation from, with me and me. And I remember when I wrote a story, I called it The Story I Never Wanted to Tell. That's the title of my blog post, where I wrote about when I was kidnapped at 19 years old. It took me 8 months to actually write that story in the way that it's written in the blog post, because I had to take breaks. I had to take sometimes 2 weeks, a 2 week break, to be able to come back to the paper, to come back to those memories. And it took me even more time to actually click publish. So before that, before it turned into a blog post and I decided to publish it, it just looked like this. It just looked like scribbles on a notebook. It just looked like moments where I had to disconnect from the paper, and other moments when I had to connect with the paper. And so I really love that, and just jotting down thoughts. It doesn't have to be a full story, it doesn't have to be a coherent memory, but I think just starting that process, and then it could become a book, it could become a TEDx talk, it could become something else. So I really love that you're encouraging people to do that. Ali is also watching and sending good thoughts. So we have a lot of amazing people watching, and I would love to for you to share with them about your work and the importance of what you do and why do you love doing it, about your your creative business. Why do you do what you do? Why are you a speaker? Why are you an author? Why did you create your company and your brand, and tell us about it.
Well, it's in the process of becoming established. This is raw and authentic and in the moment.
I love that.
And yeah, so getting the website up, so and writing more and publishing books,
Mhm.
and learning to do speaking engagements and just sharing, and just the different avenues where something like this can go has been, you know, we pick up pins everywhere for all different reasons. So, um, but yeah, that's a good question. It's a big question. It's really big. I just have, I can't not do it at this point.
Mm.
The research has just sucked me in. And I mean, you offered a challenge the other day to read a manuscript, and we're just, I look at everything I have going on, and you said, "Who wants to read my poetry manuscript?" And I'm like, "I'm down, I'm in." It's like, what am
Oh my
I doing?
gosh. You
3
wouldn't know
o'clock
you
in the
got yourself
morning.
into it.
Oh, it's just, I can't not do it. I mean, I will rip the hinges off the door type thing for certain things, and it's just, I've just ha on a mission to say, pick this thing up and just make it, see what you could do with it, because it, it, I'm a writer and I'm out of words, but you pick up a pen and you develop what needs to come out, what needs to be said, and you realize there's this energy that you just get into, and once you step into it, everything shifts. It's just, you jump in water, everything shifts. So it's yeah, I know that probably didn't answer your question. I
Oh, it did.
apologize.
It did. It did. Because, the thing is that the most important piece for anyone who wants to change the world, make an impact, make a difference, shift the planet, shift humanity, is exactly what you shared about a feeling of I cannot not do it. I can't stop. I have this passion, I have this mission, I have this purpose, and I'm guided by it in a way that it doesn't make sense for most people. And so that's exactly why we gotta have you in our corner. And that's why it's so important to understand this from, like I said, the ambassador of pen and paper, because you believe that we have everything we need to become a writer inside of us, that we already have that capacity. We sometimes say, I don't know what to write. And what you just told us is it's gonna show up. And you call this rogue insights, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so and so uh, do you believe that anyone has the capacity to tap into their rogue insights to so that they can translate everything that they need to hear into pen and paper?
100%. That's where your authenticity comes from. Those just
Mhm.
random rogue, is this happening? I mean, you look around and no, it's not happening to them or they haven't gone through it. Well, that's your goal. That's your painful as it is, get to that pin and just because that's what you can hand over to someone else.
Yeah.
They're needing it. It's like when you hike a long trail and you get to a certain point and you say, you could put this down now because the weather's going to be changing, but the people coming the other way, they're going to need to pick that up and come back. And they're going to need what you left. This is life and death. Well, you're
Mhm.
going to look at it completely different at that point. I die if I pack it, and if I don't leave it for someone else, they could die.
Wow.
And I mean, suicide's real, depression is real. This stuff is real. And it is after the human being just to snuff us out. And I mean, you
Yeah.
cannot not back up and look at that. And you see people that are just stoic faces, conversation is just shut. It's it's a fun little mess. We'll figure it out, but it's going to take all of us. And so those rogue insights that anybody's got, you don't have to necessarily be a writer. Just share them with a little kid.
Mm.
Talk to a little kid.
Mhm.
Just they got questions going on all day long, and you have so many insights to just help them and share with them. And then they've got some too that'll put you back into where we need to quit adulting so much. We need to grow up and quit adulting and just go get our little kids and say, "Come on, let's go do this. Let's
Love that.
create something and
Well,
quit
now that
taking
you
it so serious."
yeah, now that you gave me permission, I will quit.
Okay. What was it Oscar Wilde said? It's life is too important to be taken so seriously.
I love that. Yes.
And,
And coincidentally, Cynthia was saying that she's not much of a writer, but she might start. So that's really good. Yeah.
pictures paint 1,000 words. You could take a camera and that just stop and reflect and look and it readjusts everything. And you tap into that and you share those pictures and say, look, what do you notice? Do you see the dewdrops? Do you see the sparkle? I seen
Yeah.
a little video the other day and it was the ocean waves coming in, just crashing on the shore and then going back out. And it played maybe 10 seconds and it said, you've just received 4 of the biggest healing properties that a body could have. It didn't name them, but
Yeah.
boy, you could feel them. And I'm like, wow, more than 4. So just things like that we notice. You don't have to be a writer,
Yeah.
just a noticer, but just get it out, get it out.
Yeah.
The writing helps. It's the shortcut. It's the fast track. It's the steroid of it's the rocket ship. Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
love
the IV. I mean, it's just straight from you right back to the planet. It's just putting it back in.
yeah.
So, and strangely enough, I have to add this little if you're really angry when you pick up the pen, that's okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Most of us are. There are days.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow in the writing, it wraps it up where you come around and you realize, well, I'm walking away stronger. Let them be who they want to be. Let that happen the way it's going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
can handle this in whatever language you need to do, but that's how you walk away.
Yeah. I love that. Wow, I can't believe we're out of time, but we are. And so I wanted to ask you, Jaylin, based on what we talked about today, what is one thing that you want to leave our audience with and something that they can do today to get started in this journey and or any kind of last thoughts that you want to share with them?
Thank you for asking. Thank you. Because that's what it's about. I mean, I don't want to sit here and be a unicorn. Um, and say, well, good for you. That's really nice. How emotional. No, 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 no. Um, I, we all have something to teach. We all have something to share. the pin, like I said, yeah, I'm an ambassador for, I'm an advocate. I'm pins for everybody. Let's do it. And if you could just pick one up and just start writing notes down, write your thoughts down. And if you don't have a pen, start on your iPhone, but then transfer to pen as soon as you can. But just to feel it, get something out and draw. You know, we need drawings too. Those pictures paint 1,000 words. But if you don't get it out, you have to start where you're at. You don't have to be a writer. You don't even have to write. Hyper kids, they don't know how to write, but give them pens and crayons and, you know, draw
Yeah,
what's inside you. And they can, yeah, it's magical. And we haven't been shown how to use those tools yet in that healing, magical way,
that's why we're
you
here.
know.
That's why we need you in at conferences and schools and universities. So anybody who wants to contact Lynn, make sure that you look at the information in the show notes, because this woman's on a mission to help us tap into those rogue insights and help us find the trauma, freedom, authenticity, and confidence that we all need to navigate life. Thank you, my dear. You
Thank you.
are a gift. Thank you for the time of being here, sharing your heart, sharing your emotions with us. What a gift you are, Jaylene, and I appreciate you and love you.
Thank you. So are you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you next time at the Transformational Storyteller Show.